Welcome to Buzz and Bark. My name is Patricia, and today I'm going to do a Reiki sound healing. It's going to be a little bit long, so if you're in a hurry, then save this for later, bookmark it for later, and then come back and do it when you have, I don't know, maybe an hour. I don't think it's going to last that long, but it might. And I'm going to do the whole thing. Because we are changing seasons, spring is only like 2 more days where I am, and if you're in the southern hemisphere watching this, then it will be fall, and you're moving into winter, and we're moving into summer. So we need to clear that energy from the last 3 months, or maybe even before that. If you're ending other kinds of cycles, let's just end those today if you're in the process of ending it, not if you're in the middle of it or whatever is going on. And if your animals are doing that as well, because remember, we're connected to the animals. We are connected to our animal nature, we're connected to our pets, we're connected to the urban wildlife and the wildlife. We're all like one big collective. And I'm going to be doing some clearing of the chakras, so I'm going to use the pendulum again today. I have my little surrogate, Lottie the Leopard, who's like incredibly adorable. But don't let that cuteness fool you, because this actually is pretty powerful. Anyways, I've got a flute, I got some shakers. So what I'm going to do is, these shakers are really loud. So I'm actually going to leave the computer and I'm going to just shake around this space. And then I'm going to use a space clearing spray that I have somewhere. What did I do with it? Or maybe I don't. Oh yeah, here it is. So I'm going to use that. And then I've got some Solfeggios, Koshi chimes for water, because we're moving into a water season. Because I think of summer as well as both water and fire. And there is some earth in Virgo as you're ending the summer. But the summer begins with the solstice, and the solstice is Cancer, and Cancer is water. So I've got that. I've got a flute that is in the key of A. Now the key of A is I believe it's the third eye. Because F is the heart. I have an F flute. I don't play it very often, though, because it's really difficult to play. G is the throat, and then A is the third eye. And there's been a lot of people opening up their third eye. This isn't going to open your third eye, but it at least brings some soothing sounds to your third eye, or your pineal gland, or whatever you want to call it, because it's the same thing. So, yeah, let me do the shakers, and then I'll come back. You can look at the beautiful wall behind me. I've also got some Lemurian quartz, and let's put these over here. Yeah, this is like an African shaker. I think it's from West Africa. And this is also from Africa as well. This is like some kind of beans and some kind of small gourds. There used to be a third one, but it broke. And this one has shells. I believe they're no, maybe they're not shells. Maybe they're like some kind of beans or something. But they're strung together, and then they're just put over a gourd. And it's a really loud shaker, so I don't really use it often, but it's really good for getting, all that yucky energy out of the way. Sometimes, it's really good for like dancing and just shaking and stuff. So now I'm going to do the spray. I'm calling on your totem animals, my totem animals, our power animals. I'm calling in Archangel Michael, Archangel Uriel, Archangel Gabriel, Archangel Raphael, Archangel Metatron, and Archangel Sandalphon. And so they're going to hold this space so that only the highest and best energy can come through for each of us during this session and even afterward. Now, if you do not want the sound healing or the Reiki, then you can either cross some part of your body, whether it be your arms, your legs, your fingers, whatever. And you want to leave like if you're in a small space, you can't do this. But if you're in a space where you have a door and an animal can come in and out, then leave the door cracked, so that the animal, whether it's a dog or a cat, because they will only, they don't need a lot of Reiki. They only need what they need, and they know when they have enough. So if you were to fill a glass of water and you know when you've topped it off, animals know when they have enough Reiki. So they may actually really be enjoying the Reiki, but it can be overpowering too. And they're only going to take what they need, and then they're going to leave, right? And the other thing is, if you do have a pendulum or you have a necklace, with a pretty long chain like that, you can use it as a pendulum. And I'm going to use this as the surrogate. And I'm going to run so you ask the pendulum what your yes is and what your no is. For me, a yes is when it goes around, and a no is when it just stays still or it just moves just a little bit, is kind of a maybe. And then if it's going crazy like this, that means there's too much energy. So as I mentioned in, I think it was the last video, maybe the video before, you might want to go and watch it. Chakras can have too much energy, not enough energy, they can be blocked. And what we want to do is we want to balance and we want to activate the chakras. So each of and I only work with the 7 chakras, I actually work with 9 chakras, because I work with the soul star and the earth star chakras. The earth star is the one beneath your feet, and the soul star is right above it's a few feet away above your crown chakra. And the soul star is where the divine energy comes in, whatever that consciousness is, the higher consciousness comes in through that. And there's actually even higher chakras than that. And then it funnels into the crown, and then to the third eye, the throat, the heart, the solar plexus, the sacral, the root. And then it can go down your roots all the way down into your feet, and then you have your feet chakras, etc. And you have hand chakras and ear chakras, and there's a lot of chakras. But I'm only going to work with the 7. I'm only going to work with 7 today. And animals have extra chakras. They have one called a bracha, which is around the shoulder area, at least on the 4-legged animals. I don't know about lizards and the root chakra extends into the tail and so on. Or maybe there's 2 chakras. I'm not sure if there's a tail and a root chakra. I think it's all kind of connected. And also with animals, the tail is very expressive. I know with horses, you probably think they're just flicking away flies and things, but I have a feeling that their tail, I don't know that much about horses. I used to know a lot about them. I've forgotten most of what I've known. But dogs and cats, they definitely use their tail as a form of communication, and they don't want to have that blocked either, because our communication is through our throat mainly. And they also have the throat as well. But some animals are less vocal than other animals, and they have so many different ways of communicating with us. And so we want to keep all those channels and all those chakras open. And each chakra, and you want to go look this up, each chakra corresponds with certain parts of the body, certain organs, certain systems. And when we have blockages in those, because this is what energy healing is, right? We're working with energy, literally. That's what we're doing. And this energy is real. I have this quantum thing on my neck right now. Anyways, the energy is real. And when you have a blockage, what you're trying to do is you're trying to bring that highest level energy. And also you want to bring in the earth energy. And you want that to be able to flow freely through your energy centers. And when they don't, when they get blocked, then we have issues with emotions, with mental, like our mental state and our physical state. And I was told that it starts in the spiritual. So a lot of our issues will start in the spiritual realm, and then it goes into, I believe, the mental realm, and then the emotional realm, and eventually it works its way into the physical body. And the energy centers, when they're flowing, which is what we do with Reiki, we're opening the meridians, we're opening the energy centers, the chakras, and we're bringing balance and peace. I mean, that's ultimately what we're doing. Because when your body is in balance and it's in peace, you don't have the fight or flight, you don't have all the restless energy, you don't have all these negative thoughts clinging to you. Now you can watch some Reiki videos on YouTube where they're clearing, entities and all these things we pick up when we're out of balance. If you're ruminating about really dark stuff and you can't stop ruminating, sometimes that's not even yours. It's just these things that are clinging to you, just like animals can get parasites, like physical parasites. We can get those too, but we can also get these energy ones. And it used to be that people were very fearful around that. Oh my God, I've got these entities attached to me, but they're not that hard to remove. And there are videos that you can watch and remove it. But then once you remove it, you want to bring in this higher level energy to replace it. You want to shield yourself, not out of fear, but out of love. Because if you shield yourself out of fear, you're being defensive. And I learned this from my spirit guides last night when I was sleeping. That when you're being defensive, you're actually bringing in aggression. You're bringing in violence, because violence and defensiveness are mirrors of each other, or they're opposites, or what is it? They attract each other. So if you're in a defensiveness, it's probably because you've got some wound that you're not dealing with. And you might need to see a mental health counselor. You might need to do some kind of myofascia, or some kind of work and release these, like heal these wounds. Especially now I'm getting, and other people are getting, these dreams too, where you're literally having suitcases and baggage in your dreams and you don't know what to do with all of it, or somebody steals your shoes, or somebody steals your baggage. And it means that it's time to release the emotional, mental, and spiritual baggage. And so Reiki can help with that. And that's not just for humans, that's also for animals. And then in the Buddhist tradition, you can be an animal in a past life, like another lifetime, and then you're a human, and then you're an animal, and you can be like all these different things, right? So animals can also have baggage that they're carrying from a previous lifetime, and they can have gifts that they're carrying from a previous lifetime. But I'll get into that in another video, because I think I want to channel Aloka again at some point, but not now, because I don't really have the time, and I don't think it's a good time to do it. So let's start with the crown chakra and see if it's clear. It looks like it is. Okay, third eye. Let's see what's happening. Well, that's a little slug. Oh no, it's good. Okay, so third eye is good. So we're hearing spiritual intuition and all these things pretty clearly. But are we communicating clearly? Let's check with the throat chakra. Actually, that's doing really well this week. Last week it wasn't doing well at all. Okay, so then we've got the heart chakra. It's looking good. Solar plexus, sacral, root. I'm actually getting clear chakras. So we don't really need to do a lot of work in that area today. So what I'm going to do is, because we're already open, right? That means that this session that I'm going to do is going to have, and then I also brought these for clearing as well. These will just pull in all the energy you don't want. Of course, you have to put them in the sun and cleanse them and all the rest of it. This is my community chakra. So this is the collective. And this is a Lemurian, chakra. Crystal! That's the right word. This is a community crystal. I got it in Vermont. Oh God, I can never remember the name of the place. It has like a really weird name. It was over by Brattleboro. It was like this little town that you could get to going on a train. I can never remember the name of it until I get off the computer, and then it pops into my head. And this is a Lemurian quartz, and I don't remember where I got it. I think somebody may have given me, people have given me crystals as gifts and things like that. When you attend like a spiritual workshop or something, and the instructor hands out like crystals for free, which is always nice. Okay, so I'm going to start with the singing bowl. And this will not only clear the space more, but it will also just bring us some really beautiful, soothing energy. looking for my puck. Oh, here it is. Now I'm gonna do the solfeggios. I'm gonna start with 174, which is very earthy, grounding. And I'm gonna go all the way up to 963. So I'm gonna be doing 9/4 because I'm not gonna talk during any of it. I am gonna wait till the bird clock is done with its, I think it is now 10 a.m. where I am. I'm going to bring in some light language. Remember to breathe. And release. You might be hearing the sound of children playing in the background. It's their first day of summer break. It's the neighbors' kids. Let's just bring in their energy of joy and playfulness. There's also an ant crawling on my thing over here, which I'm not happy about. Okay, that wasn't very Reiki-ish, but don't need it crawling in my computer. Miracle tone, 528 hertz. You got the bark of the buzz and bark going on in the background as well. And if you want to know who that bark belongs to, it's a Labradoodle. Harmony and peace.